So tonight we had the protests, and we covered it for you guys. If you're watching live, youtube.com/TYT. We had every kind of coverage for you guys. We told you in the beginning of the night something might happen. It did happen, and then we covered the hell out of it for you. We hope that we did a good job for you guys on that. Now, but I want to tell you a little bit about the fallout, because so the protesters came in here. This is the media center, this big tent where all the media are, and they sat down and they did a silent protest for a while. Then they explained why they were here, and then they dissipated. It was very peaceful, very calm. And then one of the reasons that we didn't get a chance to explain before, but I really need you to know, is that Bernie Sanders has all these volunteers. It's very normal. All these campaigns have people who work for them. These are the super volunteers who work so hard for them throughout the entire campaign. And you get tickets for them, and they come in and they have credentials and stuff. And the first night, a bunch of them got rejected. And they were like, "What do you wait? We have credentials. What do you mean? What do you mean you're not letting us in?" So maybe it was a snafu, right? Mm-hmm. Tonight, all of them got rejected. And now one of the reports I heard, and Jordan Chariton was all over this, our reporter on the scene, he has great contacts with the protesters, with the Sanders supporters, etc., was that all 800 got rejected. And they didn't let them into the hall because they were worried about how they were going to act. Now, the Clinton camp will say, you see, we had protesters, we knew it. We were right to reject them. No, but part of the reason you had protesters is because you rejected them. And you covered up the signs, and you took away the Bernie signs, and unity, right? And when you have that kind of attitude, you bottle things up, and then they explode in unhealthy ways. Now, as it turns out, the protest I thought was great in that it didn't disturb the proceedings in there. Everybody got to make their speeches. Nobody's voice was drowned out. They simply came in here, made their point, and then they were done. I think you really couldn't have done a protest any calmer,
right,
or effectively, because you got your point across and didn't bother anybody. But don't do that. Don't shut out these people. You need these people. And all you're doing is driving a bigger wedge. Jimmy just said that he heard from a delegate that Nina Turner was kicked out. I heard, it's more reporting from Jordan, that Nina Turner was set to introduce Bernie Sanders. But since Nina Turner was so tough on the Clinton people and had not endorsed Hillary Clinton yet, they said, no, you're not allowed to do it, and they had Keith Ellison do it instead. Now, let it go. Let it go. Who cares if Nina Turner endorses you? Look, I like Nina a lot, and she's a strong, strong voice. But there aren't 300 million Americans who know who Nina Turner is, know that she didn't endorse you, and think it's like a sign of weakness or something if you allow her on. That's not a thing.
I think they're more afraid of what she might say.
Yeah, I know.
We just had Ted Cruz, after all, cause quite a problem.
I know, but even if she said something like that, you know what you did? You allowed a different voice on there.
And it makes you look strong, not weak.
Stopped her. I'm just saying I think that's why.
Right.
And it's a pattern, and it's a pattern that the protesters are protesting against. And the pattern is whenever confronted with a problem, you move to the right and you institute right-wing tactics. They've already gotten in bed with Wall Street and big corporations. She's too much of a war hawk. And now they try to suppress rebellion, and this is what right-wingers would do. Fall in line, unity, shut up, squelch. It seems very antithetical to the lefty party. All this stuff seems very antithetical to the lefty party. And that's why these people are protesting, and exactly what you said. Maybe there wouldn't have been a protest if they let Nina Turner introduce them. Maybe there would have been a protest if they let all those 800 people in. Maybe if they would have gave him a shred of frickin' respect, like Bernie gave back to them. Maybe then we could have a unity party. But there isn't a unity party now. And you know what, Jack? They don't care because they don't think they need those people.
And so
there would have still been a protest.
No, I think there would have been. But think about how it would have gone instead. Because there would have been less people there. Because a lot of the guys I talked to, I wouldn't talk to them. I said, why are you here? What do you want? And so guys like, I had a Bernie sign. I came in all the way from the state of Washington, right? And all I wanted to do was put up my Bernie sign when we were doing the roll call. But no, they put up a giant Hillary sign right in front of us purposely to block all of our signs. Then I said, I'm going to join the protest. So now I heard like a half a dozen stories just like that. So the protest would have been smaller. And if they had done all those things, then people would turn around and go, Look, they let Nina Turner speak. She even spoke out against them in this part and that part. And they let the 800 volunteers in, and they did all this. And then you still had 50 guys do a protest. And then everybody would have said, hey, guys, what are you protesting for? Come on, they've done enough. We would have said that.
Yes.
Because, and even so, I thought, I kept asking them, guys, but what do you want, right? And that part was disorganized. We called them out on that. So there's a better way, and it's inclusive, not exclusive. And so now I'm going to tell you something really minor, but it is, again, symbolic. When someone's giving a speech, they have a key line in a speech. They take that line and they give everybody a sign with that line in it, right? Love trumps hate. That was last night. There was another one from tonight during Bill Clinton's speech, etc. It seems so manufactured, which goes along with the context of all of this. Like, we have to have a really tight, well-produced show. And yeah, that's how you used to run things. But when I see that line that the guy just spoke, and you already made signs for it and gave it into people's hands and they waved it, it feels fake. The whole thing feels fake. Instead of organic, like, hey, man, we're excited and we want this. And we made my homemade sign.
Yeah.
And it said the wrong thing. But I was excited and I made a sign and I brought it from Washington or from Hawaii. Let me just hold the goddamn sign so I could be excited about this party. And instead, no, this is the sign we have manufactured. You hold a manufactured sign and we have manufactured unity. That's the problem.
And you know what's cool? Is the WWE. People bring in their own goddamn signs and they say whatever the hell they want. It becomes organic. If it was just 100 signs that said Stone Cold on them, they were handed to them, that's not cool. There's nothing cool about that.